All right, folks, this is pretty staggering. Penn State is the only winless team left in the Big Ten. It's just hard to wrap your mind around how this season has collapsed. Penn State loses at Nebraska today, 30-23. Had some chances in the final minutes to pull even after a nice second half comeback. And you can come out of the game feeling a little bit better about Will Levis and the fact that they played a little better in the second half. But no, I'm not going down that path. This is Penn State. It's not about playing better in the second half and feeling good about a little bit better about yourselves because you were terrible in the first half. You can look maybe at some moral victories against Ohio State if you have a tough game but come back and fight hard to finish. When you're playing Nebraska, which isn't any good, and you completely lay an egg in the first half after you didn't show up last week against Maryland, and you're down 27-6 at the half, I don't want to hear anything about, hey, we got a lot to feel good about from the second half, and Will Levis is better than Sean. Hey, look, that's all fine. You're 0-4. You're the only winless team left in the Big Ten. That's a disgrace. I mean, it truly is. I'm not trying to pick on this program when it's down, but this was the number 8 team in the country in the preseason, and they're 0-4. And they are flat terrible in the first half. Week after week after week after week. They are flat awful in the first half. Now look, they made the move that they had to make. There was no question it had to be made. Sean Clifford has just been a turnover machine. Just an awful interception. Missed his guy by 4 feet, throws it inside. Guy picks it off, returns it halfway down the field. Then Sean Clifford gets sacked and fumbles, and they scoop and score. Just really, I feel for Sean Clifford because he is a leader, and he's a good guy, and he's respected by his teammates. But he's just been lousy this year, and he had to be pulled. And I think that barring something happening to Will Levis, I think we've seen the end of the Sean Clifford era as Penn State's quarterback. Now, look, that's just where we are. Do we know that Will Levis is really, really good? He did a lot of nice things in the second half, and he led the team back, and he's got a lot of heart, and he's a good runner. But James Franklin alluded to this several times in his post-game press conference. They've got to give themselves opportunities on some of those throws in the red zone late in the game. You got to give your receivers opportunities to make plays, and Will Levis didn't make the throws. He just didn't make the throws. So if we want to sit here and say, hey, Will Levis is something to feel really great about with this program going forward, he still didn't make the throws when he had to make them with the game on the line down by 7. Okay, so fine. He did bring the team back. There is merit in that. He deserves credit. This kid had not played a whole lot outside of the Ohio State game last year, and he does get credit. But is that really what Penn State fans are looking for? To give credit and moral victories and to feel good about how you come back because you were getting destroyed by a mediocre at best Nebraska team? See, I don't think that's what Penn State fans are looking for. I think Penn State fans are looking for what the hell has happened to this team. Here's the answer. This is not a good football team. This is just not a good Penn State football team. We need to be realistic. The defense gives up way too many big plays. Yeah, they played better in the second half. How could they not? They were terrible in the first half. Offense played better in the second half. How could it not? They were terrible in the first. This is not a good Penn State football team. This is an 0-4 Penn State football team that doesn't know how to get ready to play games at the beginning. So you're 0-4. You got Iowa next week. Iowa just destroyed Minnesota. Iowa's playing very well. Scored 80 points in their last 2 games. Could Penn State be 0-5? Then you got a trip to Michigan. Michigan's down. But you still got to go to. Could Penn State be 0-6? I mean, look, everybody wants to search for positives. And in a game like this where you have a shot after you come back, it's kind of human nature to say, hey, let's feel a little good about the way things finished. Is that really where Penn State fans are? See, because I can't believe that. I can't believe that Penn State fans out there are saying, hey, let's feel good about where things are because they fought back. They showed heart and character. They've always shown heart and character. And I know this was outside of last week against Maryland. I know this was a hard week with the Journey Brown news, and that is so unfortunate for that young man. But you got to be ready to play football because the other team is ready to smack you in the mouth. Nebraska did not care about the woes and misery that Penn State had. Nebraska came out ready to play football, and they beat the hell out of Penn State in the first half. Nebraska's not very good. neither is Penn State.